Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the new WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Lawrence Okolie. Lawrence, how are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. I haven't just won a world title though, so I imagine I'm not quite as elated as you are at the present time. How are you adjusting to life as a new holder of a world title?
To be honest, nothing much has really changed, yet. Hopefully some stuff starts happening. I mean, Eddie has, I can confirm to you exclusively, um, ordered the watch. I've seen the confirmation, and it's on its way. So other than that, yeah, other than that, I've just basically been at home since obviously we're on lockdown. So it's been like a lot of Zoom calls and a little bit of media. Might come to the back garden, but nothing really changed yet.
Fair enough. You obviously expected to win. You expected to stop him, which you said a week or two before the fight. But it was an incredibly dominant performance, as it turned out. Even though you are super confident, did you think it would be quite as easy as it looked on the night?
I mean, that's what I was hoping for. Obviously, I prepared for a really hard fight. I had really good sparring in and like really pushed myself in the gym, which is why I was so confident because I just thought to myself, no matter who's in there, I put myself through it in training. So no one person is going to put me through what four different guys in the 12 round can do. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's one. And then secondly, yeah, kind of. Like I don't know how to explain it because it wasn't easy. It's just my game plan was better than his, and I was able to concentrate and execute it. But I think I said in the press conference beforehand, and I was really trying not to come across disrespectful because I don't mean it disrespectfully. But for example, what I said to Eddie's like, "You ready for a back and forth?" And this, and I just said, to me, it's a bad thing if it ends up being a back and forth. It's a problem if we're having a 50-50 shootout or I have to show how much grit I've got. I need it to be taller, longer, young, fresh. I should be able to do what I'm meant to do, which is jab, keep it long, throw right, hard right hands, and that's that. So what I want to do should be the only thing that's done. So yeah, I was expecting to win. I'm happy I was able to do it in a dominant fashion. And that's it, really.
And he was only the third southpaw you'd fought as a pro, one of which was Wally Camacho, who's more of a switch hitter. The other one, you only lasted 20 seconds on your debut. So, and I think one of your few amateur defeats was to a southpaw as well. How did you adjust for the fact that you were fighting someone you didn't have a lot of familiarity with that style?
Obviously, it's pretty much down to the amateurs. Obviously, I lost to an amateur, which is why amateurs are so important to build up experience where you can. I lost to a southpaw, and I spent a lot of time working on little stuff. So that because I expected to box that guy again, and I didn't. I won. So with that being said, I picked up a lot of tricks. Then I got to the Great Britain team where there was two southpaws there. So I've had a lot of southpaw experience in training. That's why it's not too unfamiliar to me. And also stylistically, southpaws have more problems with me than I have with southpaws. Usually southpaws have the advantage of like people not coming across them all the time and them step in certain directions. But with my range and stuff, if I want to step to the right, which is unconventional, I'm able to still be at distance and land my shot before they can land theirs. And if I step to the left, I'm able to cover more ground than the average southpaw anyway. So like my style is probably harder for southpaws to deal with than mine is for them.
Now, I know you don't generally engage with critics on social media, but I have to ask, is there a certain contentment that you've come out of a fight and had almost universal praise?
Yeah, it's nice. I think I get that. I mean, it's more so that it just comes down to my performance. So what people say about it, okay, cool. It's just a testament to the performance. So I'm not really too like, oh wow, like everyone's saying that stuff. For me, it's just about the performance. Like I was really happy with the game plan and how I executed it. I've watched the fight back at least 10 times. And to me, that's a positive sign. If I can watch the fight back and say, I'm happy with some of the work. I look and say what I could have done better as well. Which there's a few things, you know what I'm saying? Doubling up the jab, you know, I was playing it quite safe, obviously, you know, landed, like I think I could have, you know, got him into a much more like desperate mood, you know, if I doubled up the jab, maybe head first, body, you know, step up. Little extra ones to just take it to that next level of dominance. But anyway, it was good. It was good.
And how much credit for the victory and your ascent to world championship level goes to Shane McGuigan, of course, who you moved to a few fights ago, and the improvements have been clear to see even from the outside?
Quite research. I think massive, especially after the fight. I really appreciated it. You know, you know, yeah, massive amounts. It's not just obviously the game plan and stuff like that, because you know, naturally, obviously he sees what I do in the gym and obviously just tweaks it. You know, this happens when you. I've noticed when you go this way, this happens when you step it. But you know, little intricacies, so they really help with my natural fighting style. But then what I would say is the sort of respect that he has for opponents, no matter who you're boxing, who I'm sparring. He's meticulous in terms of this is what he's doing. That's what I think he's going to do against you. I've watched it, like, as in, I sometimes think because he's so young and funny and stuff like that, I wonder if he takes it seriously. But it's in those moments I realise, wow, this guy's he's actually done his research here. We're not messing around here. This is serious business. And like another bit of respect is, as you know, I'm quite confident and you know whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. When just the moment I land this, I might talk very like, oh yeah, like, but in my mind, I'm thinking whatever happens, I'm gonna win this fight. Like, do you know what I mean? But he's very much like good at, you know, bringing it down, making it very realistic. Well, you do know that this guy's really good puncher, knocks people down when they overextend, blah blah blah. Like 10 out of what happens if you get knocked? You know what I mean? And it kind of checks me. So all round, good.
Good stuff. Now, you're a very ambitious person. You're always focused on the next goal. I'm sure you won't let the grass grow too long having won the world title. You said before the fight you'd like to unify straight away after you beat Glavotsky against Mairis Briedis. Is that still the focus for you?
It is. However, I'm realizing that life is not roses and dandies. Like you say this and that's what happens. They obviously, Eddie and the team obviously had a meeting this week and they said that they're you know, having discussions, but it's quite difficult because Briedis has already got 1 foot in the heavyweight division already, and obviously he's coming from, if just I'm going to speak honestly, he's coming from, you know, probably making more than the fight with us two generates. You know, he's in the Super Series and this and that, and like, I've won this fight, so it's almost like I have to go out there and do something. I don't know, like, it's obviously I'm not playing. I don't want to play up for anyone in particular, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not here just desperate for one person. However, I think I would need some growing, not boxing wise, but the side stuff is the you know, commercial side or whatever to make those kind of fights possible. However, there are some champions that are a little bit more easily made. But I've told Eddie what I want anyway, so it's just really up to him to kind of deliver. But for me, I'm really up for whatever. Like generally, I would prefer to unify against anyone in my next fight, because then it's another like, well done, champ. You know, 17 fights. You know, 2-belt champion. You know what I mean? And start building a real legacy, because there's a lot of champions who come before and, you know, they've won world titles. Well, but I want to do something that, you know, okay, David Haye did more than 1 belt. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's what I want. But then I would like to be the first British, you know. I wonder actually, I don't know if you know, like how many British champions have had all belts, all governing bodies. I know that AJ and Fury winner is going to have that. And then Josh Taylor. I was trying to think before that, has anyone done that you know of?
Not in the 4-belt era, not men in the 4-belt era. Katie Taylor, and she's not British either, but 4-belt era, not men, not yet. Josh Taylor, if he beats Ramirez, of course, would be the first.
Okay. Because he fights before the AJ Fury one, yeah?
Yeah. Well, AJ Fury hasn't got a date yet, but yeah, we think so.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Nah, joking, yeah. Fair enough.
Another exclusive.
Nah. Go on. Yeah, so okay, that's 6. So that would be nice as well to be like the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be sick. Yeah.
Now, I got the book, as you saw on social media last week, Dare to Change Your Life.
Nice. Yes.
Finished it last night. Really enjoyed it, I have to say.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, where did the idea come from to do what is essentially, even though it's got some autobiographical elements to it, it's essentially a self-help book. Most boxers tend to write stuff just based on their own life. Why did you go in that direction?
I think first and foremost, I'm still quite young, and I hope to have more to put in my autobiography than that. And also, I wasn't really even up for writing a book. I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. When it was first proposed, it's because Fern Cotton had heard my story, heard me speak, and said, "This is such an amazing story. Like, how did you do it? Like, go from this. I couldn't imagine you as overweight, blah blah." However, I've got this new thing that I want to do, which is like getting books of this book, and I think you'd be perfect. And I just wasn't. I was just like to the team and everyone like, nah, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not, like, I have a world title fight coming up, or this, that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't done anything. And then the comeback was, and it hit me, was just like, it's not about your own personal goals and your own egos that you want to hit. It's about the fact that you were bullied in school, you were working in McDonald's, and you've become an Olympian and a boxing champion before the world title. You see European as just a stepping stone to the world, but to some people, European is like, oh my, like, look what you've done. Do you get where I'm coming from? So think about the younger version of you, and if he was able to read a book that could show someone relatable, someone accountable, go on and change their life, wouldn't you want that? So then from there, I was just like, you know what? It's hard to argue with that, and I think back to, my younger days and stuff, it is hard for me to leave that boy there with no book, basically.
So what was your writing process once you'd made the decision to do it? Did you kind of set aside a certain amount of time every night after training, or how did it work?
Yeah, so it's sort of like I do mind maps where it's like you kind of lay out, and I broke it down. Obviously, I had help. It's like you lay it out in a way where it's like what has happened. Do you know what I mean? What the life lesson is. Do you get it coming from? And that's just pretty much what it was. So I just had help with the structuring, because it's my first ever one. Had help with the structuring in terms of like, it's not as you obviously read, it's not like a journey like this from the start to finish. It's what my sort of mindsets were to help me get over certain situations, and how I think, even down to like some stuff I kind of wish I didn't put in the relationship stuff, whatever. It is what it is. So it was just good. I just kind of just tried to be as open and honest as I could be, without jeopardizing one of my future boxers watching it and reading it, and then do you know what I mean, getting an advantage.
Yeah, I don't think you were overly kind of candid. I think, you anonymise people for the most part, except one relationship which is already in the public eye, or was in the public eye. So I think people already knew about that anyway. But yeah, like you say, it's very accessible because it's broken up into 41 chapters, each with a different kind of theme behind it. And then you've got those little, what's it called? In short sections. And it's like a takeaway. Because I think you said towards the end, you want people to use it as a reference piece. You don't want it to just be read cover to cover and that's it. You want people to be able to go back to it. And I think having those in short bits really helps with that, because they're the key takeaways from each section.
I agree. And I think reference in terms of books, in terms of life is best, because as I said that as well, I feel like being a role model it's not me. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, I'd rather be a reference of like hard work, what hard work can do for you, what taking risk can do. Do you know what I mean? What staying true to yourself and not allowing critics to do stuff. I think, yeah, definitely. And I feel like for me, like, I don't want people to look at it as like a boxer teacher telling you how to be a boxer. No, it's just any job, any walk. If you're an electrician, if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, anything. Do you know what I mean? An interviewer, you should be able to take these things and then take out boxing, take out bullet, and just put your thing in. You know, I want to be this. So okay, maybe I do take that risk. You know, go and do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I'm really happy with it.
And it seems clear that you've used figures in your life in the same way. You know, AJ's mentioned in the book, Eddie Hearn's mentioned in the book, and kind of not so much aspirational figures, but people you can learn lessons from.
100%, they're references to me. As I said, for me, I also go into, like, jealousy is like a hindrance. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, I don't look at people and say, wow, look at what he's got, or look at how he grew up, or whatever. Whether it's AJ, whether it's Tyson Fury, whether it's this, anyone in any walk, you know, I obviously, you know, I know quite a few people, whatever, that, you know, are doing well. And for me, I think the best thing to do is look at them as a reference, as in, you know what, how did he do that? Or what does he do now that he's in that position? You know, I looked at AJ as a reference of someone who, you know, went for a world title and won. How did he maneuver before, after? Do you know what I mean? Eddie Hearn, someone who's already had massive success to date. His parents had success, etc., etc. So I look at all of these things and then say, what bits can I take? What books can I take? So yeah, definitely, I feel like that it's really, really important to have good people around, people that you can take inspiration from, and people who are not gonna make you feel little. They're gonna motivate you and want to see you do well.
And people, another thing you referenced in the book, people that can keep you in check as well. You talked about involving your friends, your housemates in your goals, so that they can make sure you're sticking to what you've said you're going to do. I thought that was pretty cool. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, 100%. You know, obviously, as you know, become bigger in your field, do you know what I mean, or anything, like, it's easy for people to just say yes around you to keep you happy. Do you know what I mean? Or just believe you're the leader of the ship and you can do whatever, because you know best. But for me, like, I think it's great to hold yourself accountable and have people around you that can do the same. Because it's not every day you can be 100% like switched on mentally and like, I want to eat sweets, I want to eat chocolate. You know what I mean? But sometimes you want people around that are going to be like, oh, hey, you got a world title fight coming up. Do you know what I mean? We might have a back and forth. I know, but they've still been given that sort of, you know, delegation or whatever you want to call it, to just know that you can hold me accountable as well. And then also, it's just in all of our dreams and the process combines together. Do you know what I mean? They're already invested in me, so show it. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sure you're just as invested in their goals, even if they're not being played out on the TV stage, as they are on yours.
100%. It's the same thing. They're held accountable as well. And I remember when you didn't give me the sweets when it's time for me to hold you accountable. You didn't give me the sweets? Okay, well, you got, yeah. It's 4:30. It's not 5 o'clock. You still got 30 more minutes left of working at home. Do you know what I mean? So it's all good. It's all good.
And one of the chapters in the book, I think it's called Make Your Voice Heard, I stand to be corrected, but it touches on racism, discrimination, especially institutionalized racism. But it seems to only really scratch the surface. I was just wondering if there was a thought process of maybe a further book in the future around more of that subject.
It really depends on how things go. It is obviously nice. I feel like books like this, you know, self-help or motivation, aren't really wrote by people like me from my kind of background. So it would be good to go and touch on further. I don't want to, you know, make it up like I've had some crazy experiences. So I'm not sure if I'm 100% the best person to sort of delve in, but I'll definitely be part of something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you talked I think it was in the introduction, about the lack of positive black voices that can relate to the youth. So I think something like that, but around that subject, is so topical at the moment.
That's more like it. Do you know what I mean? And I believe that is the case. You know, I think boxing helps you to be relatable. Even if I want to bought a £10 million mansion and this and another, the reality is you're having a fight on TV. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like people get that. Okay, he's a fighter, and also the fact, you know, I come from, and I'm still able to go back comfortably. So yes, it's good.
The book's available from the 8th of April, so 8 days from now as we do this interview. All major booksellers, online and in store. Stores will be open on the 12th of April, so we're all happy about that, not just for your book, but generally.
Yeah, I'm with that. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, you should be. I don't think there's many people your age and your experience level who've written a book already, and the chances are it will be successful as well because it's a different angle from what we're used to seeing.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Well, again, congratulations on the big win, and we hope to see you back out
Thank
soon.
you. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.
Ta-da.